Hey guys, this is Lex, and welcome to another episode of Lipstick and Liberation, a feminist podcast where I talk about the issues in society, politics, art from the perspective of a 40-year-old feminist who is trying to navigate her way through the world, make sure that she's sharing information with younger women so that they can miss some of the mistakes that she made in life, and all around trying to be a positive person who is about liberation and about keeping people safe, happy, and healthy in the strange times that we live in. So as I like to say, is so with misogyny and my lipstick, I always get the shade right. Thank you guys so much for coming back. This is episode 10. I've read somewhere that most podcasts don't make it past 6 episodes. So I am super duper excited that you guys have helped me to get to 10 episodes. Thank you guys so much. If you want to submit anything as far as wanting to reach out to us, talk to us about certain things, maybe be mentioned on the show, there are links where podcasts are available on Apple. I know that I've seen it on there. You can also go to my website that is on Buzzsprout for Lipstick and Liberation, and my Facebook page Lipstick and Liberation. You can leave us a message. I will get around to looking at those. You are also able to subscribe if you would like. I do have to pay to store this podcast. It would be super awesome if you guys want to kick in for starting at $3 a month. You totally can do that, and it would be so appreciated. But if all you have to lend in these difficult economic time is your ears, then I will take that too. Thank you so much for coming back. The first thing I wanted to talk about this week is women dating separated men, which we don't do. We should not be doing that, ladies. I think I've talked about that quite a bit on my TikTok page at Crazy Lexi Cool, but I'm still seeing it. We have this high-profile boxer, Clarissa Shields, who is dating Papoose currently, who is married to Remy Ma. And while there's nothing wrong with getting to know somebody, falling in love with somebody, we always want to do it safely and smartly, though, ladies. But my concern here is that Papoose is still married to Remy Ma. And when we talk about dating men who are still married and separated, we're talking about taking a lot of risk as a woman that is not going to be worth the reward, especially somebody. Clarissa Shields is in her 30s and she is very successful. There is no reason why she should be dating a man who is in his 40s with children, and there's no reason for her to be doing that. She has a lot of options. She has a lot of time left. It's not like she can't wait to have kids. Women have to stop thinking that you have to jump on the first good relationship that you think you're in. And especially with a married man. Married men, their money is tied up still. It depends on what state you're in. But in a lot of cases, when a man is still married, any money he has during that divorce process, any property, anything that he accumulates becomes marital property. So if he's buying you things, he could lose that stuff in the divorce. What is the upside to a woman for wasting her time, her valuable time at that age, dating someone like that, when she could be out here chasing and looking for, well, not chasing, we don't chase the man, but looking for a man who could do more for her? There are lots of options for Clarissa Shields. It's really, really, really disappointing to see someone. I'm from Flint. I'm a Black woman from Flint. It's really, really disappointing to see her, somebody who's a role model to a lot of young women, out here arguing on the internet with somebody's wife about their husband. Further, ladies, if a woman is telling you about her husband being a mess, her husband is a mess. Women cover for their husbands a lot of times because we feel like they are a reflection of us. So if she's gotten so fed up that she's telling you you don't want to deal with him, you might want to take her word on that. I always say divorced men to me are a red flag, because if you pushed a woman to the point where she was like, maybe I would prefer to have less money in this household and have you gone, you did something. Most women, there are so many women who stayed in miserable marriages with men. So if you are with a guy that a woman divorced, a woman initiated a divorce against, something's wrong with him. And you don't want to be on the internet arguing with his wife. She knows him better than you. She's lived with him. She shared money with him, split, bank accounts with him. She knows what his bad habits are. She's seen him all year long. She knows if he has depression, if he yells, she knows him. And I don't think Remy Ma is fighting to get Papoose back. I don't get the vibe of jealousy from her. I don't know. I don't know those people. But I think that young women need to be smarter and listening to older women. And at the end of the day, there's no relationship worth, especially when you're 30, you're so young. I think that's the thing that's so frustrating to me. You don't need to be dealing with this. Women have so many options. And if you prioritize the fact that it's okay to be single, then you won't put yourself in situations where you are on the internet, rich, in the prime of your career, arguing with a grown woman about her husband. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous thing to even put yourself through. You don't deserve that. You deserve so much more. And any man that would put you through that, he doesn't really care about you. Any man that won't go ahead and file the divorce papers so that you guys could be together, he doesn't really care about you like that. Especially men with means, especially men who have the money to file for divorces. If they're refusing to file for the divorce, there is a reason for that. Don't come and provide them comfort and set and just try to build a relationship with them when they're not willing to do the foundational thing of getting a divorce to build one with you. Raise your standards. Raise your standards, ladies. You don't have to just date the first man that comes along and decides that he wants to latch himself onto you. Raise your standards and make separated men a no. Don't date a separated man under any circumstances. I don't care what he tells you. I don't care if he tells you, oh, I just don't have the money to get a divorce right now. If he don't got the money to get a divorce, he don't have the money to be dating you. Oh, well, we trying to work a few things out. Go on and work those few things out then. Leave me out of it. While he's working those few things out, you could be dating somebody else who doesn't have baggage, who might be able to take you somewhere because his money ain't tied up in divorce lawyers. Why are you settling for somebody's husband that they no longer want? Unless he's super duper rich? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Ask yourself that. I think a lot of ladies, you need to sit down and ask yourself that. When you are dating men, you are taking a lot of risks. Why would you want to take on that extra risk that comes with divorce court proceedings? Because you don't know how those finances are going to get split up. He might end up paying alimony and child support and lose the house. You don't know what's going to happen. So you're with him right now with his limited finances. He might even be worse off financially when the divorce is over. What are you doing? You might end up taking care of him. Is that what you really want? Is that what you really want to waste your 30s on? Is somebody else's husband? So I just try to use things that other women are going through to let you guys know you don't have to go through that. You should be able to look at stuff other women are putting themselves through and have not wised up to that this is not the best thing for them and say, I don't want that for myself. I don't want to be on the internet fighting with somebody's husband when I could be out having fun. You could be out doing anything in the world. You at home going live about somebody else's husband. What are we doing? What are we doing? There's things we got to take accountability for, ladies. The men trying to make us accountable for their failures, but I'm going to hold you accountable for yours. Dating a separated man is a failure as a woman. It's a failure. If you're doing that, you showing him that he can do about anything because you want him when he ain't even got his stuff together. And if you think that arguing on his behalf is going to win you some extra points with him, oh no. Whatever he put his wife through, you about to go through it too. Please believe that. So don't do it. There's no upside to it. Just don't do it. That's all I'm going to tell y'all. Do not do it. All right. The next thing I really want to talk about is I don't want to get on here every week, so I wish I would stop. How y'all are treating Megan Thee Stallion, like what happened with Glorilla. I don't know why she tweeted what she tweeted, but we need to be friends to women. I don't know what's going on in the music industry that other women will not stick up for Megan Thee Stallion. Tory Lanez is such a non-artist to me. He's such a small artist that it blows my mind that people are like scared to speak up for Meg. What is going on? What is going on? Why are y'all afraid to say, F this dude that shot a woman? Why is shooting a woman not a deal breaker for a man being protected? Like, patriarchy is so crazy in that way. Like, she didn't even turn him in. She tried to protect him and he harassed her. And then the state of California prosecuted him. And now she is being punished and people are saying she lied and the evidence is clear as day. Show a male DNA on the gun. Like, what more do people need? Kelsey sent a text message that said right afterwards, Tory shot Meg and he beat me up, but Megan's lying. So is Kelsey lying too? Everybody's lying except Tory? Is that what we're saying? Leave that girl alone. Leave Megan Thee Stallion alone. What Megan Thee Stallion represents to me is she is such a beautiful black woman. I mean, natural body. That's what they say they want. Beautiful face. Got her own money. Finished college. Even though she's a rapper, she stayed in school. She got a degree. So if she's not good enough to be protected, if y'all don't think that she's good enough to be protected, what do average black women have to expect for protection when somebody is violent towards us. If y'all don't care about Megan, who is, looks like she was formed by the hands of God. Body is on point, beautiful. Just seems like a great girl from what we can see. And you guys don't want to protect her. You guys want her to be a liar. And in defense of a dude that is really ugly, short, bald-headed, like the antithesis of what masculinity is. But you guys won't protect Megan. What do black women have to look forward to as far as protection? And if you will not protect somebody who checks all those pretty privileges boxes like she does, I don't know. I don't know what we can say that we can look forward to. And then we have this podcaster, Grits and Egg. I'm so glad that he has been in the space he's in and he's been gaining popularity because this is a job that men have to do. Women cannot fix men. We cannot. We shouldn't try. If you try, they're just going to make a fool out of you anyway, so don't. It's going to take other men checking men to fix men. That's why I say my space here, this is for women. This is, if you're here and you're a man, you can listen, but I don't care what you think. I'm not here to create content for you. But Grits and Eggs, he is creating content for men and holding men accountable. And you can tell because men were having violent lash outs on like Twitter about him saying that they need to be accountable. Like, get a job. Stop hanging out with abusers. Very basic stuff. And they're falling apart. Is not hanging out with abusers really that hard for men? Is that really? And if it is that hard for you, how can you deny that women are experiencing the violence they're experiencing when you can't even weed that out of your social circle? That is so telling in and of itself that you guys aren't so like against being told not to hang out with abusers and rapists, etc. Like it's hard not to do that. If it's hard not to do that, then women aren't lying. These things are happening to them. Like the dots connect in that case. But apparently that makes men very angry. I'm glad. I started following him today. I really like his content. Now you could tell there's still some misogyny in there. The way they use the words pussy and bitch is as a negative. That's still misogyny. Yeah, if that's the best you're gonna get, you have to take it. That's all we have. That's all we have to hope for. So shout out to them. Keep doing that work. Hopefully we'll get some of these men back because what's happening right now in the United States is so scary. We are watching men, black men especially, get sucked into a conservative pipeline. We're watching that happen. Black men are being targeted by conservatives. And it's just going on. It's just going to keep moving forward. They're listening to these podcasts. And I think what people do not understand is that the reason these podcasts are so popular with black men, the reason black men are becoming more attracted to MAGA is because Donald Trump represents what a lot of men want out of life. He is wealthy. He has been able to get away with everything that he has done. SA women, get his trophy wife, sleep with a porn star while his trophy wife is having his baby, and not suffered any negative consequences. Still wealthy, still has a following. That is what some men want. The ability to do whatever they want without accountability. A lot of them want to be Donald Trump. And that's where we're getting the red pill content, taking our black men and sucking them in. Because people on the left are telling them, hey, treat women as people. If we treat women as people, if we treat women with the respect that they deserve, then that means that men cannot take advantage of them, harm them. That means that people have to listen to women when women say that men are harming them. And since a lot of men do harm us, most women are going to go through life and experience some harm from men, then that means they'll be held accountable. And accountability is the exact thing they're trying to avoid. That is why they love Donald Trump. When has Donald Trump been held accountable? Donald Trump has been president. He has been part of a coup in this nation and then still got to be president again. That is what men want. That kind of power. That is what they aspire to. Black men, unfortunately, are not trying to look to end white supremacy. They're trying to figure out how they can be just as degenerate as white men are and still get the same experience. They want white men to treat them the same way they treat other white men rather than everybody get treated better. And that's dangerous. And I don't know how we get them back except putting our voices out here, continuing to show them that they're never going to have that same kind of ability to hurt others. So stop perpetuating it in our community, Start caring about everybody else. We're not going to be free if somebody else is oppressed. You're not going to get free oppressing somebody else. It's not possible. And we need a reckoning. We need a reckoning. We as women we got to hold our ground where we at. We got to raise our standards. We have to stop having children with men who are misogynists. We have to. There's only so much that we can do in this world as women, but we got to do what we can do. We have to stop having babies with men who are misogynists. We have to stop letting men raise our sons to be misogynists, calling that just being a dad. No, we need to be raising our sons to love and care about women, to value women. We need to be raising our sons to be feminists. It's not enough to tell a boy that he needs to keep his hands to himself with a girl. No, we got to teach boys that girls are human, that things that girls like are not beneath them, that certain behaviors are not behaving like a woman, and that's a bad thing. Oh, gossiping, that's acting like a woman. Men gossip all the time. I was friends with so many men in college. They had the best gossip. Gossiping is not like being like a woman. Men gossip. That's how men get around telling people that women are hoes, and we don't get to defend ourselves because a man's word is greater than our word. But they gossip all the time. Gossiping is not woman-like, and things that are woman-like are not bad. You know what's woman-like? Going to therapy, taking care of your mental health, trying to make sure you look good. That stuff everybody should be doing. Everybody should be doing that, not just women. Treating people with respect and dignity. We have things to work on, but we need to start with raising good sons. And a good son is not somebody that's telling people pink is for girls. A good son is not somebody telling people that no girls allowed, things like that. Those are the first signs of misogyny. And a grown man, his father, telling him he can't play with certain things, he can't wear certain things. Those are lessons in misogyny too. And we have to do something about that. If we want a different world, we have to create the world that we want. It's not just going to happen. And like I said, the things we can do as women, raise our standards. Accept that you might not get married. Those are things you can do. Except that you might have to leave your husband if he refuses to stop being a misogynist. That's something we can do. So I want you guys to think about that. What can you do as a woman to try to progress our goals towards freedom? Because even lately, again, with the Handmaid's Tale, this Handmaid's Tale Facebook group is going to be the death of me. But one thing I noticed about that group, a lot of white women in the Handmaid's Tale Facebook group, like they were talking about Serena and they were saying that she's a good person and she's changed. And it was really blowing my mind because she hasn't changed at all. And I don't get how they don't see it. Like the only things Serena has changed about are things where she's gotten where she wanted. She had a baby. So then she didn't want to take June's baby and she didn't want handmaids around. You know, she didn't want Gilead anymore because New Bethlehem, she could have leadership. But when she was on that train, and those women confronted her about Gilead, she stood up for Gilead. She said it was the right thing. So people who think Serena changed bother me. I'm really bothered by them. They're very strange to me. And I think some of it is because white women, and I always address y'all, because y'all got to get in the field. Y'all are the biggest ops of allies that we have. Y'all got to do that work. Y'all want people to think that if you use white supremacy to get ahead and then you don't use the same tactics like Serena, she used a handmaid to get a baby and then she ended up getting the baby she wanted in the end. So now she wants to be seen as good. Even though if she didn't get what she wanted, she would still be doing those evil things. And I think it's the same thing, just like those white women that were yelling at kids going to segregated schools. Now the schools are unsegregated and they're used to it. So they don't have to go out in public and scream at the kids anymore. That doesn't mean they've changed. That has nothing to do with them changing. That just means that they either got what they want or they got used to not getting what they wanted. And so they're going to just wait until the next thing comes out for them to be outraged about. They're still mad about it. They're still unhappy. And we got to address that. We got to hold white women accountable for that stuff. We absolutely do. We're not going to get free without them. We can't. I don't know how we get them on board. After these couple presidential elections, I don't know what we can do, but it's not my job. I'm a black woman. I leave that to the white women to figure out. That's on y'all to figure out. It has nothing to do with me. So I hope you guys do get it figured out. I hope one day I'll sign into the Handmaid's Tale group and not be horrified. We'll see. But until then, I think I've run my mouth enough. I do got to go back through and edit some of this because the double taping made things very difficult. But I am so glad you guys joined me. I'm so glad that I got a chance to speak with you. If you would go to my Facebook page and like it, or if you would go ahead and subscribe to my podcast, that would be amazing. Thank you guys so much again, and I will see you next week.